Hey guys, how's it going? I realize it's been a while since I made a video, but that's just because I've been busy. I've had a lot of work. Before we get into what we're doing today, I just want to say I hope you had an awesome 4th of July and that you had a great time that day. I love 4th of July. So yeah, I just wanted to say that quick before we get started into the video. Today, we are at Minnehaha Falls in Minneapolis, and the reason we're here is because my grandparents are visiting from Montana. So we are gonna have some awesome times. So we're gonna have a lot of videos to make up for my lack of not posting a video in like a week. So we are here at Minnehaha Falls, and today we are talking about what are you looking for? And this is, talking in perspective of photos, what are you looking for when you're taking your photos? How are you looking at the scenery and deciding what makes a good photo? So we're gonna get down to the falls, we're gonna take some photos, and we're gonna talk more about what exactly you should be looking for when taking a photo. So I wanted to get these really cool photos of the waterfall, and there's an area I wanted to go to, except unfortunately they blocked it off for a certain time, so I can't get there. So instead I'm going to have to deal with just taking photos from the main bridge area, but I think we can do it. We'll still get it in. The sign says no trespassing, and a lot of people have been trespassing. That's a big no-no. So here's my opinion on photography, right? If you're a photographer, I think you should be bold, you should go explore, you should be adventurous, right? But I think there are limits on where you should go and when. So there are, signs that say no trespassing, prosecutors, or violated, be prosecuted, blah, blah, blah. I think that's when you should say no. Yeah, I want the good photo, but breaking the law and stuff, I say no to that. So yeah, I think there's a time and place to be adventurous and go explore, but there's also a time and place when you should obey the law and rules. So here's what ended up happening. I went down to the waterfall and I walked onto the bridge. This is the first area where most people go to take the photos. And as I went there, I tried different angles. I used my filters to do a longer exposure, and then as I took photos I decided to move around a bit, so there's a little lookout kind of area, outlet where you could go take photos. And so I tried to work with what I have, because unfortunately certain areas were closed off due to preservation, safety, all that boring stuff. So a thing when you're looking for taking a photo, there's kind of a few things you really want to look for. First of all, a good lighting spot, right? When taking a photo, you want to look and you want to find the optimal lighting time. You want to find a good spot where there's lots of good lighting, whether it be portraits, landscape, whatever. Always want to look for good lighting. The second thing that you really want to be looking for is the kind of the depth and the scenery. So I like to call this kind of, instead of the rule of thirds, as a sense of the 3x3 square. Instead of that, I look at it as a level of 3 depth. So you've got your foreground, middle ground, background, and in this you're looking for almost a 3D effect. So as you look for this, you look for something to put in the middle, put something in the front and the back, and you get this 3D effect, and that makes a photo really pop because you get this almost depth, and you feel almost like it's more 3D, and that kind of draws the person into the photo. So you want to look for something that can get put in your foreground, in your background, and then in the middle ground, and that'll enhance your photos a ton. And so that's a really important thing you want to look for. Another thing that I like to look for is just different angles, right? You try going higher, lower than most people, go to different spots than most people, you know, exploring and finding the different areas that most people wouldn't go to. So instead of, right, going on the main bridge where everyone go, I moved out to the side. Instead of going, you know, low, I went high. I did all these different areas. Now it was difficult to work with because, again, the extra paths are closed off, and so it was harder. But instead of, you know, just, you know, giving up and not doing it, not taking the photos, I still decided to try to take the photos and get them. Now there is one thing, as I said before, I'm not, you know, I'm all into exploring, I'm all into going off at the trails and adventure, you know, but if there's a sign that says, you know, this is the law, don't do it, I think there's a point where you shouldn't do it, because I think it's better to respect authority and to do as, you know, someone has asked you than to, I don't know, disobey and just disrespect authority. So yeah, I would say that's why I didn't go off the trails. That's why, because there's a lot of people and that's what they want to do, but that's not what I would do. Another thing, it is really humid here at the falls, and these stairs are exhausting to walk up. So I'm tired.